All right, let's get straight to it. Today, we're not just analyzing something, we're descending into a psychological mystery, a kind of gothic noir story etched right onto the walls of the mind. Our investigation starts now.
So let's open it up. Case file number 13. We're heading into a place described as the lightless basement of the world. Imagine a cathedral where the walls aren't made of stone, but of the fossilized remains of every forgotten desire. This isn't just some artsy metaphor, this is our crime scene.
And that really brings us to the core question of this entire investigation. We're being asked to consider a pretty terrifying possibility. What if the strangest, most unsettling place you could ever possibly explore is the one right behind your own eyes?
Okay, with our case file officially open, let's begin Act 1. Our first job? We've got to understand the terrain. We need to map out this psychic space we've just stepped into.
Now, as the detective on this case, and yeah, that's us, you have to understand you're operating in two totally different worlds at the same time. You've got the surface, right? That's the world of the ego. It's logical, it's familiar, it's the reality we think we have a handle on. But underneath all that is the underground, the realm of the id. And down there is just chaos. It's primal, and it's deeply, deeply uncanny. This is the place where your own home suddenly feels like a stranger's house. To find our way through this underground, the architect of this place, this mysterious figure they call the Holy Fool, well, he left behind a trail of breadcrumbs for us. 5 bioluminescent sigils glowing on the walls. These are our clues. Following them is the only way we're going to crack this thing.
And now, our investigation zeroes in on the first major piece of evidence. And let me tell you, this one, it challenges the very idea of who we think we are.
So, Exhibit A. Forget about the classic snake eating its tail. This is different. It shows a human figure just calmly unzipping its own skin. And underneath, there's nothing there, just a mirror. It's a seriously disturbing image, you know? And it's designed to get past all of our usual mental roadblocks.
What this sigil is really hitting us with is a concept called the uncanny double. It's this bone-chilling idea that the I you know and love, your identity, is nothing more than a costume, a mask. And whatever is wearing it, you don't know it. It's a complete stranger. The message here is pretty bleak. You go looking for yourself, and all you find is the void staring right back at you.
Okay, the trail of clues is about to take a much darker turn. In Act 3, we find out that getting closer to the truth in this subterranean world, well, it comes with a heavy price.
Let's look at our second piece of evidence, Exhibit B, the sigil of the severed key. We see a metal key, and it's turning inside a lock. But the lock isn't made of metal. It's made of sharp, predatory teeth. The message is pretty clear, right? The closer you get to unlocking the truth, the more it's going to bite back.
This whole image symbolizes something really specific and primal. In psychoanalytic terms, it's a visual for what they call castration anxiety. Now, this isn't literal. It's really about a much deeper fear, the fear of losing your tool of logic, of reason, when you come face to face with the raw, irrational power of the unconscious mind.
This really drives home the danger of what we're doing here. The Holy Fool himself left a note about this one. It says, "This key does not open the gates of heaven, but unlocks the dark cellar where internal monsters dwell." It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What happens after you let them out?
So we press on, into Act 4. This is the point of no return. Here, our investigation brings us face to face with an absolute, inescapable, and frankly terrifying authority that governs this whole psychic territory.
High above the central pit of this whole cathedral, we find Exhibit C. It's a sun, but it's carved in negative relief. It's a star that gives off no warmth, only a cold, dark light. It's called the dead father of the psyche, an uncanny law that's here to strip away every last bit of comfort.
This hollow sun is the ultimate symbol of a really chilling concept, the death drive. It's this idea that deep inside all of us, there's a fundamental pull, not towards life and energy, but towards stillness, a deep yearning to just go back to a state of absolute silence, from before consciousness ever even started.
Just when you think things couldn't get any more disorienting, welcome to Act 5. This is where the whole conspiracy just unravels, because we realize the entire crime scene, the very structure of the self, is built on a foundation of lies.
Our fourth piece of evidence is easily the most complex one yet, the mirror labyrinth. It's a map etched into the wall, a tangled mess of interlocking lines and reflections. It's described as a map that leads everywhere and nowhere, all at the same time. So, what's the first clue this labyrinth offers? That our entire understanding of time is just wrong. Down here, in the underground of the mind, linear time, past, present, future, it's nothing more than an illusion cooked up by the surface world.
The implication of that is just shattering. Inside this labyrinth, trauma isn't something that happened to you in the past. No, it is always happening. Every traumatic event is occurring at the same time, right now in this constant looping present.
So if time is a loop and trauma is simultaneous, then what exactly is the I? This is where the labyrinth reveals the final brutal truth of our case. The self isn't just wearing a costume. It has been completely shattered. It's a fragmented thing, scattered across all these different dimensions of memory and trauma.
And that brings us to Act 6, the final moments. The evidence has been collected, the self has been completely deconstructed, and all that's left is the haunting, inevitable conclusion to our case.
You know, the final clue isn't some grand, dramatic symbol. It's much quieter than that. It's just these small, repetitive divots carved into the stone floor. And they're always damp, always gathering moisture from deep within the earth. They're called the tears of the eyed, and they represent the constant, unstoppable leakage of the unconscious into our everyday lives.
This leads us to the final prophecy of this temple. You can build walls, you can create a conscious self, you can try to suppress all the chaos, but in the end, it doesn't matter. The repressed stuff, the forgotten desires, the old traumas, the primal urges, they will always find a way to come back.
So, our investigation into Case File 13 is closed. We've mapped the subterranean mind, we've followed the clues. But this whole thing ends with one last, unsettling question, and it's not about the case. It's directed at you. What forgotten symbols, what uncanny sigils are etched on your own inner walls?